Picture this. You're 34 years old, you're a super successful software founder, and you've just wrapped up this massive, totally exhausting project. You've literally been grinding through 14-hour days, 7 days a week, just pushing yourself to the absolute limit. So you decide, you know what, I need a break. You take your family to Disneyland, but just 10 minutes after walking through the gates, your chest tightens up. You get super dizzy. You can barely even breathe. You sit down on a bench, your heart is just pounding out of your chest, and you ask yourself, am I literally having a heart attack at the happiest place on earth? Well, this is exactly what happened to a founder named Stuart. He wasn't having a heart attack, though. He was having a severe panic attack triggered by extreme burnout, and it completely paralyzed him.
Welcome to this explainer. Today, we are going to completely dismantle that toxic, hustle culture, get shit done mindset that broke Stuart. And instead, we're going to introduce a really powerful paradigm shift to help you reclaim your life. Because let's be honest, working harder and longer, it's just not the badge of honor we've all been conditioned to believe it is. Here is our roadmap to freedom for today. First, the toxic grind set. Second, hitting the pain line. Third, the buyback principle. Fourth, the buyback loop. And finally, number 5, the drip matrix. All right, let's jump straight into section 1, the toxic grind set. The illusion of efficiency and the get shit done trap. So this explainer is actually derived from Dan Martell's incredible book, Buyback Your Time. And look, Martell didn't just learn this stuff sitting in some business school classroom. He lived it. He learned it through failed businesses, a broken engagement, all of it caused by his total obsession with the daily grind. He learned the absolute hard way that you cannot simply outwork yourself to a better business. It is so easy to get tricked into believing that simple busyness equals business success, isn't it? I mean, the logic seems totally sound on the surface. More input equals more output. But honestly, being a highly efficient hamster on a wheel just means you're spinning faster toward total exhaustion. Just take Stuart, for example. He genuinely thought he was saving time and money by handling his own accounting, reviewing literally all the back-end coding, and even booking his own travel. By insisting on wearing every single hat, he trapped himself in 100-hour work weeks. So yeah, he was incredibly efficient, but he was efficiently driving himself right into a panic attack. Which brings us to section 2, hitting the pain line. What happens when growth equals pain? If you keep grinding like that, you eventually hit what the source material calls the pain line. Now, this typically happens when a business reaches around 12 employees, or maybe $1 million in revenue. It's this pivotal point where you've built the business purely on your own gritty work ethic, but suddenly, the weight of the emails, the endless admin tasks, and the daily fires is just too much. Growth literally becomes impossible because the pain of managing it is just too great. Your body or your mind just throws its hands up and says, okay, enough is enough. And here's the crazy part. If you don't intentionally change your mindset when you hit this wall, human nature just takes the wheel. You will subconsciously sabotage yourself in one of 3 ways just to avoid more pain. First, you might sell your business out of pure desperation, just trying to escape the pressure. Second, you might sabotage your growth with sudden, super dramatic decisions, like needlessly changing markets or firing loyal team members over tiny mistakes, basically subconsciously shrinking the company back down to a size you can manage. Or third, you might just stall out entirely. You consciously decide not to grow, which actually starts a countdown timer for your top employees and your best customers to leave for better options, slowly letting your business die. Okay, so how do we avoid that? That brings us to section 3, the buyback principle, the paradigm-shifting alternative to the grind. Here is the core solution, and it completely flips traditional business advice on its head. It's called the buyback principle. Simply put, don't hire to grow your business. Hire to buy back your time. You have to start using your financial resources to literally purchase back your time, not just to add more capacity to the business. Think about it. You are spending your single most finite asset, your time, and you need to start investing it only in the things that actually bring you energy and make you money. Let's look at how to actually do this in section 4, the buyback loop, the actionable system for reclaiming your life. When you hit that point of pain we talked about, you have a distinct choice. You can crash and burn, or you can enter this infinite cycle, this beautiful upward spiral, to continually upgrade your time and your life. It's a continuous loop that actively allows you to buy back your freedom. The framework itself is elegantly simple. Step 1, audit. Take a really close look at your calendar and identify the low-value tasks that just completely suck your energy dry. Step 2, transfer. Hand those tasks over to someone who is actually better equipped to handle them, and hey, maybe they even enjoy doing them.
Step 3. Fill. You take your newly acquired free time and fill it with high-value tasks that actually light you up and generate significant revenue. And then, you just repeat the loop.
To see what happens when you totally ignore this loop, just look at the author's brother, Pierre. He started this custom home building business and basically acted as a jack of all trades. He was applying for permits, managing all the carpenters, paying the bills, working from dawn till dusk. And the result? He was literally living on a leaky air mattress in a staged model home, practically bankrupt. I mean, it's absurd, right? But why did it happen? Because he was so incredibly busy picking up hammers that he completely neglected his actual genius zone, sales. Once he transferred all those draining operational tasks and filled his time purely with selling and really understanding his buyers, he went from that leaky mattress on the brink of bankruptcy to selling 16 houses the very next year.
Finally, let's figure out exactly what stays and what goes in Section 5, the drip matrix, categorizing tasks by money and energy.
You see, every single task you do exists on two continuums: how much money it makes you and how much energy it gives you. So let's actually map them out. Let's break down these 4 quadrants, spelling out DRIP. First, delegation tasks. These make very little money and they completely drain you. Think of your basic tedious admin work. You need to transfer these out ASAP. Next, replacement tasks. Now, these make high money, but they still drain your energy, like doing all the sales calls yourself when you absolutely hate selling. You need to systematically offload these, even if it takes a bit more effort to train someone else to do it. You want to ruthlessly eliminate the delegation and replacement quadrants. Why? Because your ultimate goal is to live entirely in the investment and production quadrants. Production tasks make you high money and give you massive energy. And investment tasks, well, they might not make you money today, like exercising, spending quality time with your family, or reading, but they light you up and protect your mental capacity to produce in the long run.
Now, if you want proof that this works at the absolute highest level, just look at Oprah Winfrey's billionaire schedule. She wakes up surrounded by nature, she has a peaceful lunch in her garden, and astoundingly, she spends only 2 hours a day on traditional business matters. 2 hours? Seriously? It's incredible. She dedicates the rest of her time to personal growth, reading, health, and discovery. Oprah has fiercely protected her time, ensuring she only ever operates in those investment and production quadrants. As the saying goes, successful people aren't doing what they love because they're rich. They are rich because they've learned to do what they love. Think about it. Early in her career, Oprah was a daily news reporter. It completely drained her energy, and she hated it. It wasn't until she abandoned the news and shifted to a talk show format where she could actually just interview and connect with people that she tapped into her production quadrant. By focusing only on what truly lit her up, her financial world exploded.
And bringing this whole thing back to Stuart, our exhausted software founder from the beginning. When he finally stopped and audited his time, he realized something crazy. He was spending hours on tasks valued at $10 an hour when his actual value to the company was $100 an hour. So he applied the buyback principle. He transferred all his draining tasks to other people and focused entirely on his own genius zone. The result? He freed up over 30 hours a week. He completely eliminated his panic attacks. He became a much more present father, and by literally working less, he tripled his company's revenue in under a year.
So, grab a pen and answer this question for yourself right now. And hey, forget whether or not you think it's practically possible at this exact moment in time. Just visualize it. Would you spend those extra hours with your kids? Would you finally join that morning yoga class? Would you sit back and actually strategize your company's next big move? Because dismantling this toxic grind set begins with clearly envisioning the exact life you are trying to buy back. So ask yourself, if you stop doing all the things that drain you today, who could you become tomorrow? Start your buyback loop. See you on the next explainer.